Science doesn't slow down, and neither should MSLs. But with back-to-back meetings, endless emails, travel to conferences, how can MSLs do all of that and stay on top of the scientific literature, especially with the sheer volume of new data that's always coming out? This is a top challenge for many MSLs and so critical to get right. You don't want to be in a meeting with a KOL and get blindsided by a question that you should have known the answer to. To help you overcome this challenge, I've presented several different AI-based approaches. I'll link those down below for you to review. I've got another awesome AI-based approach to help you stay on top of the scientific literature. That is creating podcasts from papers. Not only that, stick around because I'm going to show you how to level this up and make it MSL specific. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Patrina. I'm the creator of Medical Affairs Strategy Hacks. This is a YouTube channel dedicated to helping medical affairs professionals demonstrate their value. Obviously, this means talking about productivity, and then that means we talk a lot about AI. And this is such a great opportunity, not only to help generate better insights, but also to help with productivity of day-to-day work of MSLs. That's why I've been producing a lot of hacks around how to uncover what your KOL values and do pre-meeting prep. A couple weeks ago, during one of these hacks, I had Vivek on the channel, and he mentioned how he loves to use AI to generate podcasts out of scientific papers. When I heard him say that, I immediately thought, this is so brilliant. It's always been really hard for me to read scientific literature. It's just so dry and boring, and it's like taking 2 Tylenol PMs. So today's hack is around 2 different tools you can use to generate podcasts from scientific papers. What's great about this is that instead of having to read the paper and potentially fall asleep, you can listen to it instead. So if you're an MSL with a large driving territory, or maybe you want to listen to a paper on a walk, this is a really great option for you. What I did is looked at 2 separate tools, Notebook LM and SciSpace. I've talked about these before and how great they are for summarizing the literature. I'll link that down below for you. I uploaded a random paper from JAMA and then just clicked generate podcast. So these are the standard podcasts that these tools will generate. After listening to both of these, I thought they were pretty okay. I wasn't wowed, but I was like, this is a really great option for people that are on the go or want to listen to a scientific paper instead of having to read it. They both gave pretty good high-level summaries. I would say that Notebook LM gave it a little bit more flair and focused more on the patient perspective, while SciSpace was a little bit more robotic and scientific. I could imagine a lot of MSLs really just wanting that high-level data overview, and SciSpace is going to be great for that. However, this made me think, how can we make this even better? And I noticed that Notebook LM has the ability to customize the podcast. So what I did is wrote a prompt for MSLs to help them understand this paper from the perspective of discussing it with a KOL. I have that exact prompt for you on the Medical Affairs Value blog, so you can try it yourself. When I entered that prompt and then clicked generate, it took a lot longer for Notebook LM to create the podcast, but it spit out a much longer podcast, 26 minutes instead of 5 minutes, and the results were mind-blowing. It really created the podcast from the perspective of the MSL and how the MSL could talk about this data to the KOL during the meeting. Let me give you a few highlights. In the first 40 seconds, the podcast said, for our MSLs out there prepping for KOL meetings, let's cut to the chase. What are the big takeaways? It also said things like, this is where you can really add value in those KOL discussions. Another one of my favorites, how do we actually use this in those conversations with KOLs? What was so amazing about the output with this MSL specific podcast from Notebook LM was that it really thought about thought about the perspective of the MSL in the KOL meeting. It also provided context around acknowledging the limitations, how to have that conversation. It had conversation starters as well as anticipated pushback. It said, I want to make sure our listeners are fully prepared to tackle any pushback that they may get and brainstorm effective arguments. This is so amazing to not only get a summary of the publication so that you can have those deep scientific conversations with your KOLs, but to also level it up and think about potential pushback, conversation starters, strategic questions to get insights. I have the link to this podcast on the Medical Affairs Value blog, so you can listen to that yourself. Additionally, if you go over there, you can copy the exact prompt I used, try it in Notebook LM on your own publication that you need to review for an upcoming meeting. Definitely give it a try. My mind was blown. I was really impressed. I would love to know what you guys think if you try it out. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Additionally, if you or your team are looking to upskill in AI, let me know. I'm providing a new training on this. You don't want to be left behind in the AI space. As we always say, AI will not take your job, but an MSL using it might. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm really looking forward to your feedback on this. If you found any of this useful, please be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really helps it out. Also, I have a newsletter where I produce summaries of my hacks every week and give you a little bit of insider information. So be sure to listen to that. Thank you so much.